What I mean by that is like working with the seasons, right? Working in alignment with the seasons. So in Aries season, we were working to like catch lightning, catch inspiration, or receive the downloads, the visions, the ideas from our higher selves. Maybe it felt like catching lightning because there was so much madness around you receiving this download. So in Aries season, we were working on receiving and integrating the path, the blueprint. Now in Taurus season, we're working on putting the plan into action. It may not be the full thing, but it's like the groundwork so that when it's time, Gemini season is next, you guys. And Gemini season is a season of like whoosh, whoosh, like fast moving energy. It's an air sign, the sign of like quick communication. So there's going to be a lot of networking, a lot of socializing. You may receive like a bunch of clients. You may receive like a bunch of views. So this time right now, like if you set up this play, I'm feeling like Taurus season is about setting up the play, right? If you use this time to set up your play wisely, in the next season, Gemini season, when things start moving quickly, then you'll be in alignment, right? Hey guys, welcome in. I hope you all are doing all right. My name is Brianna, and this is going to be hopefully a really quick astrological update. Today is Tuesday, April 21st, 2026. And we have the sun in Taurus, you guys. We are officially in Taurus's season. The sun ingressed Taurus, I think, yesterday on April 20th. And I love Taurus season. I love Taurus energy. For me, this energy has been feeling like very just calming, chill, and grounding. It's definitely a shift in energetic dynamics from, I want to say, the chaos that was Aries season. Aries season felt a bit chaotic just because the energies were leading us up to the new moon in Aries. So this transition from Aries season into Taurus season, or from Aries energy into Taurus energy, has been very just like calming and soothing for me, and I hope you guys are experiencing that for yourselves as well. I will say though, there has been this like undercurrent of shadowy plutonic energy, and that's going to be due to the sun making a square to Pluto in Aquarius, and I am going to talk about that just a little later in this report. But let us start at the Taurus sun, right? We have the sun in Taurus making a sextile to the moon in Cancer. So the Taurus sun is in communication with the Cancer moon, and this aspect may be generating this desire, or let's say highlighting your internal desire to build or create or cultivate something that's going to be stable, meaningful, and emotionally fulfilling. And now, you guys, is an opportune time. I want to say now and over the next 4 weeks, as the sun is shining, fueling the Taurus area of your life, it's going to be the perfect time for you to apply your energy and effort towards building something. So, Taurus season, it's going to last about 4 weeks, right? 4 weeks. Taurus season is a time for cultivating material success, right? If you align your actions and efforts with this gateway, right? This gateway that is Taurus season, there will be a material, how can I say this, right? Taurus is the first earth sign of the zodiac, right? Taurus comes after Aries. Aries energy gives us the ideas and inspirations, the vision, right? Aries is like the spiritual insight, right? Taurus comes after Aries and does something with that vision, that dream, that idea, right? In the tarot, Taurus is going to be represented by the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles talks about applying your energy towards future success. So the Knight of Pentacles is a combination of fire, the fire element, and the earth element. So it's part Aries and part Taurus. So it's like taking the spiritual idea, insight, inspiration, and doing something material with it. Taurus is only the first earth sign of the zodiac. It's not Capricorn, right? Capricorn is the goat. So Capricorn is like manifestation of the entire thing. Taurus is just like laying the foundation, sowing the seeds, getting things started, right? So if you align your energy and effort, your actions and effort with this gateway, this cosmic gateway that is Taurus season, by the end of Taurus's season, you will have like a foundation, or like a product, a finished product that's at least going to be, I want to say, ready to present to the public, right? So the next 4 weeks is going to be a time of like focused growth, sowing seeds, pouring into creating a prototype, a foundation, and at the end of Taurus's season, you will have a finished product, right? At least something that's ready to be presented to the public. Yeah, so we're talking about cultivating something material here. The Knight of Pentacles leads into the Ten of Pentacles. So this is like the groundwork, I want to say, like doing the groundwork that's going to eventually result in your future material success, which is like that Capricorn energy that I was talking about. Esoterically, in esoteric astrology, Taurus is a fourth ray sign of beauty and harmony through conflict and chaos, right? So Taurus is the light bearer. Taurus has this desire to reveal the divinity hidden within the chaos, right? And we have the Five of Wands here. There has been conflict and chaos around your idea, around your vision, but Taurus is like so focused, he's so dedicated, he's so committed to his work, right? That he hones in on his goal. He hones in on his work, right? He takes his work very seriously, and he protects this idea. He not only protects it, but he pours into it, right? He nurtures it. He sees it through the manifestation process. So this gem, or this divinity, is going to be the spiritual insight, the wisdom, not the wisdom, the idea, the inspiration that you received during Aries season. And I hope you received it, because I mentioned that there was a lot of like this distracting energy. There was a lot of fighting and like chaos around this idea that your higher self was trying to download to you. So I hope you received it. If you've received it, now is going to be just an opportune time to pour into that, because there's guaranteed success. The Knight of Pentacles represents guaranteed success as long as you are focused, disciplined, and committed to your vision, right? So, like I was mentioning, Taurus has this desire to reveal the divinity hidden within the chaos, right? So he's beauty and harmony through conflict. So Taurus creates the systems. He's like smooths everything out. He like clears the path, right? He clears the path. I don't know if you guys can see, but there are like pathways back here. What is that called in farming? Tilling the land, pulling up the weeds, right? Clearing the pathway so that your seed has a healthy chance at growing into something beautiful, right? Into something tangible, into the 10 of Pentacles. So this is the opportunity now and over the next 4 weeks, but we have this Cancer moon. We have this Cancer moon. So sometimes the moon can be a liability, right? The moon can be a liability because it's the storehouse for all of our emotional programming, And as I mentioned, there is a lot of just conflict, chaos, friction. I want to say competition around your vision. So this could interfere with your emotional desire or your emotional clarity. It's like having your emotions pulled off into a different direction, or your emotions stall your desire to move forward. If your emotions are pulled off into conflict, even if the conflict is internal, right? Even if the conflict is internal, then that's less life force energy that you have to pour into your vision. Like, you just may not feel like it. You may be just bogged down by too much chaos and conflict, whether it be internal or external. And there is external opposition. I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit, but yeah, that's the challenge. So yeah, we're challenged by the Cancer moon. I've felt this even a little bit earlier today. It was like emotional triggers that kind of made me not even want to work. I was just like really irritated by external conflict, and it kind of made me like, I felt like my life force had been drained, right? I was really excited to record this message because it is a really exciting time, but external conflict, there was a trigger. I want to say it had a lot to do with the sun squaring Pluto, but this trigger made me feel as if I didn't even want to record. Like, I didn't want to do the thing, right? I didn't want to do the thing. So there is some emotional processing needed, right? To clear your emotions, to clear your moon, or just to like, I want to say, get your house in order, get your moon in order, so that your vision doesn't get trapped in the moon here. We have this card here. It's the moon. The moon is a liability, also known as the prison house of the soul, esoterically, the prison house of the soul. If the soul is Aries, right? That idea, that inspiration, that vision, that gift that was given to you in Aries season. So if that is the soul, then the moon is going to be the prison, right? The prison that traps your vision in emotional tendencies, instinctual patterns, imbalances, emotional irregularities, and just feeling like you don't have the life force to do the thing. You don't have the life force to apply to your vision. So that's going to be the liability. But I feel like we want to be very careful in this energy because the sun is also in communication with the North Node of Fate in Pisces. That's making this time, this period, a very fateful, energetic gateway. It's like whatever you do in this energy, it will impact and affect your future. Whatever you do in this energy, we're sowing seeds. We're sowing seeds. Whether they be seeds of, you guys know, right? Seeds of, we got the Five of Pentacles here. The Five of Pentacles is fear, stress, material worries, doubt, insecurity, instability, right? Feeling like you don't have enough fuel, right? Enough life force or even enough money to do the thing. So whether we're sowing seeds of this or this, right? Seeds are being sown, and the universal law of compensation, right? The law of compensation says that you will reap what you sow. So we just want to be mindful of the seeds that we are sowing in this energy. Now, the Taurus sun is in a square to Pluto in Aquarius. The Taurus sun is making a square to Pluto in Aquarius, and this is that square energy. Square energy is conflict. It's fighting. So the Taurus sun, this is the Taurus sun, right? This is the sun in Taurus. The sun in Taurus is like battling Pluto. And Pluto is the underworld, right? It's like our deep subconscious. Pluto is like the storehouse of all of our, not just our emotional patterns and tendencies. Pluto is like where we push all of our darkness and demons, right? Not just ours, but this is where that external opposition comes in, right? So this is creating a potential for hidden and unseen opposition and interference. Maybe you can see it because the sun is shining on this energy. Maybe you can see the opposition. I'm getting like a lot of like sneak attacks, but I feel like these cycles just repeat, right? These cycles repeat and we spiral up in ascension. So we ascend a little more each time. So I feel like you've ascended to a level to where you have this overview of lower dimensions, and perhaps you can see this conflict or these sneak attacks, right? You can sense this shadowy energy, and maybe you know how to navigate now, right? You've gained this wisdom, this higher wisdom. You've learned the rules, right? You've learned the rules of the game, and you've learned how to live or lead by example. You've learned how to apply your spiritual wisdom, right? The spiritual wisdom that you've gathered from previous cycles. I feel like you have sight to see. Not only that, but the sun is shining on Pluto. So not only is it like amplifying, intensifying this conflict, but it's also like shining a light in the dark. So I feel like you can see we've been working with Pluto's energy for a while now. It's a constant. We're always going to have to work with Pluto's energy. In the last reading, we were talking a lot about alchemizing emotional densities so that they wouldn't interfere with future forward movement. I feel like the work that we did in the previous reading is going to determine where you are today. If you're feeling like intense conflict, then there may be more alchemy. There may be more alchemy that needs to be done. I know we hate to hear it. I know we hate to hear about the work, right? A lot of people don't like to hear about the work. They would much rather prefer to hear about the potential of the results or the potential of the manifestation, but the work is necessary to kind of like streamline the process, streamline the journey, clear the path of these conflicting energies so that you get to your destination without interference, right? And this interference, I want to say that you see it now. You see it more clearly than you did before. You see it more clearly than you did before, and perhaps you're able to move through this energy. We have the Death card and the Judgment card. Both of these cards are represented by Pluto. So maybe you have the insight, the clarity, the wisdom, the spiritual know-how to move through this conflict, make purified choices, or use the wisdom that you've learned through previous experiences to make new choices. Because you are changed and ascended, no matter where you are, right? I'm getting like there are levels to this. And when we talk about levels spiritually, we're talking about dimensions, conscious dimensions. So no matter where you are consciously, you have more wisdom than you had before. And you're able to navigate interference and opposition more skillfully. That's what the Hierophant is. More skillfully than you were before. The Hierophant also talks about like regulating processes and systems, putting things right. It talks about morality, right? Doing things the right way. So this is about locking in, perhaps even locking up your energy, emotional regulation, staying grounded. The Hierophant represents spiritual rules and regulation, right? Regulations, it's like codes of conduct. So this is like self-control, self-regulation, self-accountability, monitoring your energetic intake and output, just being mindful of where you're spending your life force energy, because your life force energy is your currency. So this is like being your own spiritual teacher, your own spiritual leader, and making your way through this square energy, this conflict energy, because it's going to matter. It's going to matter at the end of Taurus season. You'll be able to see your results. There are energies, entities, like people who don't want you focused on this. They don't want you focused on investing your energy into your dreams and your goals, because Sun sextile the North Node of Fate in Pisces. Whatever you focus on it's fateful, right? You're like weaving threads of destiny in this energy. You're weaving fate in this energy. So whoever these people are, they want your life force tied up in this conflict so that they are a part of your future, so that you weave conflict into your future and they're linked to the conflict. It's a weirdo energy. Let's see if we can get any more messages. Yeah, it's a strange energy, a strange way to exist. But the sun sextile the North Node of Fate in Pisces is in communication, right? With, okay, so your efforts. The sun is highlighting your efforts and communicating that energy with the North Node. There's your foundation. This is the foundation that you're cultivating, right? This is going to be your spiritual foundation, your energetic foundation, your internal foundation, and as within, so without, right? So we want to make sure that our internal foundation is stable and solid, regulated as we move forward through Taurus's season, because a stable internal foundation, stable internal foundation is going to help us. What am I getting here? A stable internal foundation. Oh, look at this. Here it is right here. We got strength, a stable internal foundation, a strong internal foundation, completion, and the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups is emotional fulfillment. So it's like ending one cycle and moving into something that's going to make you really happy. The 10 of Cups is giving like that strong, stable, meaningful, emotionally fulfilling external foundation, right? What else do I have here? Let's wrap this up. Let's move on to the conclusion. Okay, so the Taurus area of your chart is going to be highlighted over the next 4 weeks. So check your chart to see where you have Taurus, because that's where you're going to want to be applying your energy and efforts. You can also check the energy stored within that house, including the asteroids, to see what gifts and innate resources you have to help you, right? Taurus also talks about the energy inheritance, the energy that we incarnated with to help us create wealth and value, and the energy we have to manifest with, right? So check that house. Yeah, so check your the house that Taurus rules, as well as your second house. Check your second house to see what you brought with you, right? What you were born with, what you incarnated with, that can help you build, cultivate material success, right? So the sun is gifting you with the energy and fuel to abundantly pour into this area of your life. So if you use this energy wisely, there will be a gift or a result at the end of this manifestation cycle. If you use this energy wisely, there will be a gift, like something, I don't want to say given to you, because it's something that you've cultivated and created on your own. So not on your own, because we always have help, right? Especially when we're working in alignment with these cosmic energies. but it's something that you're cultivating right now. It's gonna be like the result. And I keep getting prototype. It's like a finished product. Even if you're not creating anything tangible, if you aren't, then you should, right? Then you should, even if you're just doing it for fun, if it's something creative, because you never know what it could lead to. So there's gonna be like an end result, a prototype, a finished product, something that's ready to be presented to the public, presented to the group. It's going to be something pure, right? Something that comes from you. Something that is a reflection of your unique energetic signature. Yes, so there will be a result. The universal law of compensation says that you will reap what you sow. So whether you're sowing seeds consciously or unconsciously, your actions will produce a result. So, yeah, whether you are consciously creating or just like unconsciously drifting by, you are sowing seeds, right? You are sowing seeds, and your seeds will produce a result. But I feel like the magic happens. The magic happens when we work with these energies consciously. And what I mean by that is like working with the seasons, right? Working in alignment with the seasons. So in Aries season, we were working to like catch lightning, catch inspiration, or receive the downloads, the visions, the ideas from our higher selves. Maybe it felt like catching lightning because there was so much madness around you receiving this download. So in Aries season, we were working on receiving and integrating the plan, the path, the blueprint. Now in Taurus season, we're working on putting the plan into action. It may not be the full thing, but it's like the groundwork. It's like working on your branding or setting up the background processes for your YouTube channel, or just making sure that all of the background stuff, the groundwork is done, so that when it's time, Gemini season is next, you guys. And Gemini season is a season of like fast moving energy. It's an air sign, the sign of like quick communication. So there's going to be a lot of networking, a lot of socializing. You may receive like a bunch of clients. You may receive like a bunch of views on your YouTube channel. So this time right now, like if you set up this play, I'm feeling like Taurus season is about setting up the play, right? If you use this time to set up your play wisely, in the next season, Gemini season, when things start moving quickly, then you'll be in alignment, right? And we also have Uranus, right? Uranus is the planet of like revolutionary change. Uranus, I want to say, is a planet of divine intervention. Uranus moves the pieces around so that reality is in alignment with karma, karmic justice, the results of your efforts. So Uranus is moving out of Taurus into the sign of Gemini. Uranus is moving out of Taurus into the sign of Gemini on the 26th of this month. So when that energy moves into Taurus, it adds more potency to this change, or like this fast moving energy that's going to be occurring in Gemini season. Because now um, Gemini is the messenger, right? The messenger of the gods, or Mercury, right? Mercury is like the message. Gemini is the carrier of that message. So energies are going to be moving around like powerfully. It's going to create like this big powerful change. For me, May has always been a month of like fated change, whether it be for better or for worse, right? May has always been a month of like big drastic lifestyle changes for me. And I didn't understand, like before I started learning astrology, I didn't know why my life was always like either falling apart or being built up or like drastically changing in May. But I feel like it had a lot to do with, or now I feel like it has a lot to do with like this Gemini energy, like this fast moving energy that creates rapid and potent change. So if we use this time wisely, right, consciously, right, this is what I'm working towards. If we use this energy consciously, then getting like magician energy, it's like voila, magic. Like this is what you've created, this is what you've cultivated because you did it consciously. You worked with this energy intentionally and consciously. We've got the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands, the beginning of a new creative process. The beginning of a new creative process. The Ace of Swords. This is like truth and clarity. Using what you know. Or maybe just like using your conscious awareness to cultivate a new path. If we're talking about Taurus energy, the path that leads to, this is Capricorn energy. This is like big energy, right? Using what you know to, I want to say, become the GOAT. Or maybe just reach a level of success, completion, maturity. The King of Pentacles is the king of it all, right? He's been through all of the levels and he's mastered all of the levels. Now he's sitting here as the master of material success. The master of material success. So this is what we're working towards, right? Whether you identify as male or female, there it is, right? The inheritance. Okay, so the advice here is to move slow. Taurus is a slow moving energy. You don't have to rush. You don't have to rush. And I feel like trying to rush might create like this misstep or this missed opportunity. You want to take your time with whatever you're creating. You want to take your time with whatever you're creating because it's like concentrated cultivation. Concentrated meaning like pure, focused energy. Take your time, focus in, hone in. Because if you try to rush, right? Rushing to the finish line may not only lead in like missteps and missed opportunities, but rushing to the finish line, okay, now you're at the finish line, but you still have to wait for the next gateway to open. So take your time here. Yeah, concentrate your energy. Concentrate your energy into the small details of what you're creating. Surrender to the flow. Ground. Meditate. align your physical being with Taurian energy, right? Taurus energy is the bull. He lays out in the grass. So lay out in the grass, walk in the sun, listen for guidance. The High Priestess, listen for guidance and for inspiration. Slow and steady steps, slow and steady energy is going to win this race. Okay. Watch out for monitoring spirits. Watch out for monitoring spirits around your star energy, your potential. And I also saw the star here. So watch out for these. This is like that Plutonic energy. It could be internal or external, right? Internal moon energies that hinder your progress towards your full potential, which is the star, or your highest potential. And it could also be that external opposition. We have the bullseye here, hit your target, and we also have the King of Pentacles, mastery of material success. We also have acceleration. So I feel like in Gemini season, 4 weeks from now, things are going to be moving very quickly, very rapidly. But for now, we want to focus in on our target, concentrated growth, right? Focus in on the small details. Whatever you apply your energy and effort towards in this season, it will produce a result. The King of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, they talk about guaranteed success, right? Guaranteed success. Success right now is giving result, guaranteed result. So just be mindful of the results that you are creating, cultivating, growing in this energy. Okay, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you all for being here, and I'll see you on the next one.